Brilliant. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the seventh video, sixth episode, single opt-in, confirmed opt-in, and double opt-in. I'm not going to
my
introduce
nice
this again.
colleague Anthony Mitchell.
Hello there,
Hi, Anthony.
everyone. Hi, Florian.
I introduced you this time.
Yeah, it makes a change, I'll tell you.
So what's the topic today?
The topic is, we previously discussed about spam traps and the negative impact that they can have on your list. Now we're concentrating on list hygiene, and in particular, the methods of opt-in in processes. So single opt-in, double opt-in, confirmed opt-in.
Cool. What does it mean?
What does any of it mean, Florian? Single opt-in, single opt-in. So, for example, you might sign up to a newsletter on a website. And you might just put your email address in, and you might just click opt-in, and that automatically puts you from that website into the database of wherever the website is, and then you might receive an email after that. Or if it's not a valid address, you won't receive an email, and that's a particular drawback for single opt-in. So it's one of the most used methods, but it's actually a drawback. Do you have any questions about that, Florian?
Actually, I do. So legal requirement is single opt-in, right? So why should people do something more? Why should they use double opt-in and risk to lose addresses that are too, I don't want to say dumb, but are not able to click the confirmation link?
I see what you've done there. You've mixed all three methodologies together, haven't you? Right, let me just decipher what you really asked. Now, the difference between single opt-in and double opt-in is when it's a double opt-in process, the website is using double opt-in process, you literally just basically you sign up for the website, you receive an email, you click, and then you receive a then you'd receive a notification to say that you're opted in. Yeah, so far so good, Florian?
Yeah, that makes sense.
And then confirmed opt-in is in fact when you add yourself into the database and you receive an email with an unsubscribed link.
Okay, so it's like an possibility opt-out at that point. So it's not a second opt-in. So maybe just to explain the terms opt-in and opt-out, because
Sure.
by legal it's mandatory that you have an opt-in and not an opt-out, and many people don't know the difference. So opt-in means that you actively need to check a box and say, yes, I want to have that. So that an action is required in order to activate something. You opt in actively. For example, often there's a checkbox which says, I would like to receive newsletter, and you actively need to activate that checkbox. That's an opt-in. If it's already activated with a checkbox, and you need to take an action in order not to receive an email, then this is an opt-out, which is not allowed by law. So you don't generate a valid permission if you already have the checkbox activated. That's quite important, and that's also why it's called double opt-in. First of all, you need to check the box to say, yes, I want to receive the newsletter, and then on the confirmation mail you need another action like clicking the link. So you have twice opted in actively into the newsletter, and then that's a good thing for the recipient, because no, not for the recipient, for the sender, because the sender knows or can be quite sure that you're really interested in getting this kind of information, and that you have control over that email address. You can't just subscribe somebody else to spam his mailbox with stuff that he's not interested in, because the other guys wouldn't click the confirmation mail, and then he would not be subscribed to the newsletter. With double opt-in. With single opt-in, Yeah.
And it could be a
Bad
known
luck.
spam trap, perhaps, as you
Yeah.
say. So
Yeah. Exactly. You
could have
can
like
actively harm somebody by subscribing a known spam trap to a list, and with single opt-in, you have the spam trap in your list now. By the way, I like your glasses. It's very
thank you very
sunny
much.
outside, right?
It is quite sunny in here, and it's just keeping the glare off my eyes. It happens once in a blue moon, but yeah, it helps me to concentrate on the videos.
If you bought that in Barcelona.
No, I actually broke a pair just before Barcelona.
Okay.
Um,
Cool.
but that's all good. Yeah, okay. So that's interesting that you mentioned about the single opt-in, and in fact, you could have, say, someone that wants to do you harm. You wouldn't necessarily think of that, but we've had instances in the past whereby a spam trap has been registered and it's been by some kind of net trawler. In fact, it wasn't even. It was just by like a bot that got in and tried to enable that. So now we see even on single opt-ins, you have the imagery where you have to either click it to confirm that you're not a robot, or you have to basically decipher an image with text in it to then add yourself in. So that's good.
The
It's
Captchas.
useful. The captures, yeah.
I hate them. Actually, I hate them. And I tell you why. Because you can never see exactly what it is. Sometimes you need to say, please click all the squares where you see a sign or something else. And sometimes it's really hard.
I always refresh it a few times. Yeah, it does take a little bit of time.
And one time I had a really, I need to tell you that story. One time I had a really, really hard time because I was subscribing for a Russian address for setting up a feedback loop. And in order to confirm that account, I needed to fill a captcha. And there was Cyrillic letters in it. And actually, I could identify them, but I don't have them on my keyboard. And I refreshed that page like, I don't know, 50 times, 60 times, until there was a captcha without Cyrillic letter. That was really hard. And then they had some letters that looked like Arabic ones, but in fact were Cyrillic, like a big R, I think. So that's hard. I hate them. Do you like them?
No, I'm smiling because I think I'll have fun editing this video with loads of weird letters on the screen as you're talking, and then confuse things even more. Just keep typing loads of letters. But I see the point you're making. Yeah, it's not nice, but I mean it's that extra added step. Now I think between the two of us we'd recommend that you use double opt-in or at least confirmed opt-in. As a step to eradicate the chance of having spam traps put into your database.
Yeah.
But I think that's
Sorry. I think there's two important points to mention as well. First one is the design of double opt-in mail. People ask, what can we do? What should we do? What's the best practice for the double opt-in mail? And so should it be as simple as possible? Yeah, it should be simple. So it should not advertise yet, because then you're a bit in a gray zone that you don't have permission yet to advertise, but do it. So that's kind of a problem. But it still should be in the look and feel of your newsletter. Really good practice is that you have a prominent big subscribe button to confirm, but as well inform the people. Be transparent. For example, it's a good idea to say to speak about the frequency, to speak about the content, so that the end user, the recipient, is really aware of what he will receive if he clicks the subscribe button. And why do you want that to happen? Because it's not a volume game. Some companies think as big the list is, as better, but in fact, from the point of view from deliverability, it's not true, because you also bring in problems. So if you really want to take care about having a good list which is interested in your content, then be transparent about the content, and then you won't have issues afterwards. And the second topic, and I just teaser it for you, you can cover it, is how to set up unsubscribe process. Do you have best practice for that as well. We have spoken about subscribe so far, but what about unsubscription?
Yeah, it's a good point. I mean, it's things that aren't necessarily discussed. Maybe it's good to have a guidance or like a policy on that. And I think that would be a good content for another episode, Florian.
Really? You want to cover that in a okay.
Yes.
Yeah, we can do that.
I'm
Or don't
giving-
you know the answer?
Every time I say that, I realise that I'm giving us more work. But it's okay. This is what we're doing it for.
No, that's good.
Um,
Until then, I give you a quick hint. Make it as invisible as possible. Dark light font on dark light background and font size 1 point. That's the best.
Yeah. If I had anything to do with it, I would say you put header unsubscribe in there. You put unsubscribe at the top, unsubscribe at the bottom. You make it easier to unsubscribe. You want to prevent having complaints. And on the note of complaints, it takes us nicely into our next lesson, which is feedback loops.
Oh, feedback loops. Interesting.
We can then talk more about the complaints and this subject as you can see, me and Florian could just talk for hours. But
Yeah.
Thanks, Florian, for your input there. It's great.
Thanks, Anthony.
Thank you. And thanks everyone for listening.
Yeah, looking forward to the next episode. I'm really keen to know what it is, feedback loops.
Yeah. I'll see you next week.
See you.
Have a good one.
Bye-bye.
Cheers. Bye.